Happy Thursday and welcome back to the You Good Podcast, the podcast where oversharing is encouraged and the thoughts get real. I am your host, C-Rod, joined as always by my co-host, Nick. There are a lot of things that we deal with every day that just quietly become normal without anyone really agreeing to it. And once you start noticing it, it's hard to ignore. The way people move, the way we communicate, the expectations we've all just kind of accepted. Today's episode is about those things, the stuff that feels normal now, but if you really think about it, probably shouldn't. Welcome to episode 44. When did that become normal? Let's get into it.
No, I don't wanna live where I always feel broken. I just wanna live with a heart wide open. I don't ever wanna feel fear anymore. No.
All right. So I'll say this one last time for you. We played each other in fantasy baseball. I walked away with a 12 sweep, a historical domination.
Yep.
Of historical proportions in not only hitting, but pitching. How does that make you feel?
You're the only one that would have beat me this week too.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what pisses me off the most is like I beat everyone else and then you are dog shit this week, so it's just lovely. It's you're gonna be back in 11th. I'm not too worried about it.
I was shitty week 1 and week 2, but my team just wanted to, show up against you. Show up and show out. Show out.
Yeah, I mean, absurd. 23
I've also got hit by a couple
some
of injuries since then, so that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had 3 or 4 guys. I had Trout, I had J-Ram, I had Bellinger. I think Berger had 2 home run games, like multiple times during the week. It was absolutely insane. I loved it. I did get nervous. There was a time where you got 1 point from strikeouts.
I know. I was doing everything I could. I tried.
Yeah.
I really, really tried. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I beat the rest of the league. I was over at CJ's house looking at it on Sunday, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I beat everyone else. I think maybe one other person.
Right. I think the craziest part is just a 12-0 sweep. That's really hard to do, especially in our league. We've talked about how good some of these guys are management-wise.
Yeah, but it wasn't just your hitting, your pitching. Everything. You had a 417 on base percentage at one point. I'm like,
I think I had
what am I going to do with that?
Sub 2 ERA as well.
Exactly. And strikeouts and quality. I had multiple starters go 5.2. And I'm just, what am I going to do? Everything that I was throwing at you was just not working. And then, like I said, would beat 90% of the league. So
yeah, it's crazy how that works out. That happens to me a lot, not in fantasy baseball, but a lot more in fantasy football, to where I'll just constantly play the highest scorer of the week. But if I wouldn't have played that person, I would have beat 10 out of the other 11 managers or something like that.
Yeah, what happened last week isn't normal, I think, for anyone involved.
The commissioner did not respond back to me about how many records I broke, so I'm going to have to do that digging on my own.
Yeah, he must be busy.
Worst commissioner ever. Well, that's that. We'll leave it be, but just let it be known that it was pure domination, 12-0. We will play each other again at some point. We'll talk about it then. Hopefully, I also crush you.
I doubt you're going to have 23 home runs again, but we'll see.
So last week, we talked about Coachella week 1. This week was Coachella week 2, but wasn't really a part of my interest. I want to ask if you watched any of the spectacle of wrestling, WrestleMania.
No.
No?
I watched Oja stuff, but I didn't watch any WrestleMania this year.
Were you just busy or did you have no interest?
I tried, and because of like the hoops I had to go through with my ESPN stuff, I was like, fuck this. I was like, at a certain point, I was like, I'll just watch what I was gonna watch anyway.
It's
And from
insane.
what I read, I didn't miss anything.
You didn't. Night 1 was very underwhelming. Night 2 was amazing. Pretty much a perfect night. I was very sad because Brock Lesnar retired. I thought we had until SummerSlam because I was going to go see him. We knew that it's in Minneapolis. Hopefully it's a work and it's part of a storyline and he comes back. But WrestleMania Night 2 was awesome. But you're right. The amount of apps that you have to have, and TKO, the smug son of a bitch that he is, the owner, comes out and he's just like, oh, that's the way of the world these days. You have to have multiple streaming platforms to watch everything. He was talking about the Yankees and he's like, in order to watch all of the Yankees games, you have to
Nope.
have 10 different apps to watch them. And I'm just
False.
like, yeah, you know nothing about nothing because the MLB app, if you're out of network, it allows you to see every game.
You just can't live there. And if you
Right.
did, then you just have local TV that
Right.
it's on.
Then you're already watching
So-
it. He's so stupid because the crazy part is outside of America, Netflix owns everything wrestling, everything. All, Monday night, Thursday night, NXT on Wednesdays, all the PLEs. All you need is Netflix. But in America, you have to have ESPN. You have to. And it's not the ESPN Plus. It's like ESPN Plus. You have to have.
Which I
Netflix.
have, but it wasn't like, for whatever reason, I had to like go through the app wasn't working, so I had to go on web, and then it was like this circle that just wasn't connecting. I'm like, fuck this.
It's
I'm out.
stupid. You used to
like,
have to have Peacock. You have to have SmackDown's not streaming. You have to have cable television just to watch SmackDown, and it's crazy. And I think NXT is on like Hulu or something. I don't know. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating as a wrestling fan for them to sit here, and then they come out with a WWE club. So now you can be a part of a club. You can pay a monthly fee to be a part of a club. So then that way, when tickets come out, you'll get them cheaper than anybody else will. You'll get them first, and you'll get social media content that nobody else sees. And I'm like, we're all sitting here complaining about the prices of tickets. WrestleMania had 11,000 less attendees each night than it did last year. And your move is to, hey, here's a membership club that you can now pay us for. And then your tickets will be cheaper. It's just fucking insane. It's insane. Well, that sucks you didn't watch it. Even though night 1 was not great, it was still enjoyable as a wrestling fan. But night 2 was definitely best. So if you watch WrestleMania, I know that I go on a wrestling podcast, Major Push Wrestling sometimes. And if you ever want to talk wrestling, reach out to me. I know a couple of people who have been on here. Some of our guests are big into wrestling, and I'm always open to talk about that. The rotational mental health opener for this week, Nicholas, will be our one-word mental health check-in. I am prepared to let you know that my one word, my mental health one word, is sick. I feel like I got blasted by a train. Poor Carter is in the hospital right now. He is stable. He's just going through some breathing issues. They can't take him off of oxygen long enough for him to breathe on his own because he has an upper respiratory infection, but he will be okay. He's pushing through it. Unfortunately, it's nothing that he hasn't been through before, but out of caution, Callie took him to the hospital and he's been there for 2 days, but I guess I'm not complaining that I'm sick. It's just, we said that we would show up anyways, we would push through, we would not make excuses. And I think that borderline plays into the theme of today's episode, which we will get into. And you still have to, show up even when you don't feel 100%. And I feel like in social media and engagement and on podcasts, that's even more true.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. Even though I gave you an out,
You did, and I appreciate
we could do
it.
it tomorrow so you can rest up and
You are a wonderful co-host who asked many times if I wanted to move or be okay. But even though my eyes are a little bit open, I have been chugging Theraflu all day, which I didn't realize was the PM version. And there's probably a reason I've been sleeping all day and have a foggy head, but I didn't realize it was PM.
You're robo-tripping on us.
How about you? What's your one word check-in?
I hate to say this because once I do, everything around me is going to come and burn down, but content. Everything's going well. And like I said, now that I said that out loud,
No,
everything's gonna go to shit. So
no, 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 not at all. Not at all. Content is good, work is good, relationships are good, personal life is good.
yeah, no, everything's on the up and up, moving in the right direction. Like I said, I can't complain. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's pretty much happy. You
Pretty
know,
much happy.
but you probably could be happier.
Yeah. Anything exciting happened to you over the last week?
Um, let's see. Not, I mean, I golfed. Uh, yeah, just golfed. Golfed a
Nice little
bunch
relaxing
actually.
time. Hey, content means relaxation, means mental peace. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It's a good time. It's a good time. So let's jump in right into segment one. You know, I mentioned it a little bit, but I think for this segment, I want people to think about a time when they felt pressure from someone. And I'm not saying I felt pressure from you, but the pressure of social media, right, to show up every week. And that was kind of what I was alluding to for today's segments. And it's kind of interesting because even something like pushing through, always being available, always showing up, it's just expected now. And I know we've briefly touched on this before, but I really want to dive into silent comparison, you know, competition without meaning to. We have talked about that in during some of our fantasy baseball episodes, but just what that pressure looks like from the internal and external side. I guess my first question to you, Nick, is why do people compare even when they don't have to?
I think, man, probably because we're selfish in nature and we want what other people have, or not we, but I say we as the royal we, like the species, not necessarily present company, but I think it's inherently how we are as just a people. Like we do whatever we want for ourselves more so than looking out for the group, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's funny that you say that with the group or ourselves because this past week I was at a music festival called Breakaway, and I've touched on this too, during our spring break episode, that one of the things that I love about music festivals is people are there not just for themselves. They're there for everybody. And, we had a group of 20 people and we were towards the front and the place was packed, and it's like the little things of somebody's trying to get out of the crowd. You scoot over, you put your arm up so they can squeeze through. Whereas some people don't move and you have to like push them to get out. Or, if somebody is hot, people will fan them, they'll make space. They're always looking out for other people. And I think that needs to translate a little bit more and exactly what you're saying to just society as a whole, and not even, just at a music festival. But if people acted like that on a daily basis, I think it would go a
So,
lot further, as to what you're kind of alluding to. Does that make
oh,
sense?
the world would be a way better place if people were more the community first than myself first.
Yeah.
But that's
I know
just
that
how things work.
whenever I log onto social media, I genuinely get happy when I see positive updates from even people I maybe
Mhm.
haven't talked to in 10 years plus. Maybe they're having a baby, maybe they got a promotion. One of my friends from high school, she runs a social media website and they just bought like this new house on a farm, and she was elated to release that. Do you think people are actually happy for others all the time, or you know do you think that they'll look at something like that and be like, oh man, I wish that was me, or I can't believe that happened to that person?
I think it's probably both. I guess it depends on who you are as an individual. If you can genuinely be happy for someone else, you're n- if that's the case, you're normally not going, "Oh man, I wish it was me," or why them?" You know. So I
Yeah,
yeah, that's tough.
it's a silent comparison. It's a visual
Yeah.
comparison, and it's truly, you and I have
Mm.
talked ad nauseum about how much we hate the social media pressure, but it's that silent comparison of what is everybody else doing? What don't I have? I'm
or what am I doing wrong?
right. Right. I had that conversation with a friend the other day where she was just like, I'm trying this, and this. Why can't I get to this point? What am I doing wrong? I'm almost 30. And I know that people in our age are now talking about, well, I'm almost 40.
Right.
When is that gonna, turn for me? Do do you think that kind of comparison has always been there? Or is it worse now specifically because of the access that everybody has?
I think it's way worse now. I think before, like when our parents were our age, it was more like status symbols were how you knew how everyone was doing or what they were doing, and
Yeah.
not necessarily in your face every day. And so, yeah, it does. I mean, there was probably a time in my life where I was like, "Oh, man, I wish I was doing that or this," and not necessarily happy for somebody, but
Mhm.
not necessarily upset that they're doing well. Just started to
Indifferent.
think like, what am I doing wrong, or why am I not there in my life? Or but then like comparisons is theft of joy. So
I truly believe that people are not competing with others. They are competing with what they think they should be now. Does that make sense?
oh yeah, when you start doing that stuff, for sure. You're not comparing you to that individual, you're more or
Mhm.
less like, why am I not in that individual space? So it's you, like, what did I do wrong? Or like, I wish I was there,
Yeah.
that stuff.
Because you can support people, right, in your network, in your circle, your close friends, your parents, whatever it is, acquaintances, and still feel behind at the same time. Like you can be happy for somebody and not particularly have a wanting, but still internally feel like I'm not there yet. When will I be there?
You could be doing well and feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. And I mean, we're doing so much, but I'm still like, I'm not, there's still time on the table.
Dude, half of the time my calendar is booked 3 months out and I'm on the go, 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 go. And I'll sometimes sit back and be like, man, I don't do anything. But in reality, I'm doing everything all at once. Somebody texted me earlier today about a trip or something, and I'm like, my next free weekend isn't until May 23rd. And when Kelsey and I sit down and talk calendars for the kids, like we're talking through like July because everything is so filled up.
Mm.
It's kind of insane. The internal and external pressure. Where do you think that pressure comes from? I know that we've touched on it a little bit. Do you think it's like you said, mainly that personal driver of even if I'm doing so much, there's still that voice in my head wanting me to push forward more?
Uh, I mean, again, I think it's more on an individual basis. I think some people see the social media thing and then that's what motivates them, or maybe not motivates them. They just want to complain
Yeah.
about. And that's another thing. People that are sitting there having time to compare and complain aren't doing shit.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know.
I
N-
think I think that drives me the craziest, and I've seen it more now because of Oja and what he's doing, right? And the content he's making and the way that he's blowing up. At Big Oja 123, he's been on our episodes before. I know that we post him on our stories. He is our buddy that is fighting wrestlers around the world and going viral
yeah,
for
getting beat
it.
up at Comic Cons and wrestling cons.
Yeah, WrestleCon. If you did tune in to WrestleMania, or you are in tune with the WrestleMania world, the wrestling world, Big Vito pushed a fan, choked him out, slapped him around at WrestleCon this week. That is our buddy Big Oja at Big Oja 123. But my point of this is not to just plug him, but to say the amount of negative comments he get. And even like myself, I commented on one of his videos and I got off my phone. I came back to like 8 or 9 comments directed at me about how I'm like a bitch and an asshole and telling me to chuck dick. And I'm like, all I said was he could take Vito in a ring. I think that's all I said. And people are just so quick to jump out there and be keyboard warriors. And then you'll like click into their profile. They might be anonymous, or they might just have like cartoon pictures because they're a bot, or the ones that always get me are somebody that's like jobless and at home. And you're like, all right, you have no time but to sit here and be a troll and not, commit or pertain to society. Contribute is the word I was looking for. Contribute to society. What makes you better than everybody else to then come on here and tear people down? But that is sadly social media, and that's sadly how you get engagement. That's how you get clicks, likes, shares. Something like us where we're talking humble and positivity. It's going to be much harder than somebody who just goes on and he's like, oh, I'm eating this Wendy's Baconator, fuck McDonald's and fuck Burger King. And then people are like, whoa, you hate McDonald's, fuck Wendy's. And now all of a sudden he has 59,000 likes on a video of him eating a burger just because people are so evil.
Quick to anger. Again, have way too much time on your hands. I don't have time to comment on everyone's video that I don't agree with. I would have no life.
Right.
Like, that part doesn't make sense to me. There was a time in my life, and it was, again, mostly me comparing myself, like, where I thought I would be at a certain age. Like, and it was mostly my 20s. Like, oh, at 25, I expected to be here, and here, and but right before 30, this is where I expected to be in life, and
yeah,
like my comparisons have always been like personal, not like when I see my buddy buy a giant ass house, like, oh man, why can't I buy a giant ass house? It's like, no, like I can, I just don't want to. Well, I just don't want to. So. Sure. But at the same time, super happy that they bought a giant ass house or so and so got a badass job. Like, that's awesome. I want all of you to do well, because then we all get to do fun shit. Like, if I'm the only one doing well, what's that say about me? Like I'm not trying to help my friends do well and things like that. It's like, no, that doesn't.
But it's not even that from that point. Like, what if, let's say you came to me and you're like, Chris, let's go to Japan because you can afford it. And your kids are old. Your kid is older, so you have that freedom. And you come to me like, let's go to Japan. I'm like, I don't know if I can. I'm not financially there. I'm not. I don't have the time to go there with the kids. And I think that if you're constantly like looking at other people and putting them down, you can never realize like, hey, I'm in a good space, and now let my friends be in good spaces too, because then maybe they can join me. And what do the kids say? The vacation got out of the group chat or something, right?
Right. And yeah. It left the group chat.
Some of those friends, it takes years for them to get out. Some of them are ready to go. And I mean, that's just life. Everybody has a different situation. And even for me, I think most of my shortcomings in my life have been from a financial standpoint. And it's not that I've ever been at a low point, but I always feel like every time I get a good job or my savings is starting, to see 5-6 figures, then I get laid off. And I'm like, God damn, then everything goes through. And, or we have a kid and then we have another kid. We have a third kid who's very sick. And now my medical debt is super high. Or, Cato, everything's good. Savings are good. Cato gets cancer. And it's like now another 4,000. And I feel like for me, and I know that this is true for so many other people that have the same sentiment, but every time I get, I don't want to say comfortable, but in a good space to where I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great year. Something happens, it turns, and now I'm like, all right, well, let's rebuild, and next year will be the year. I stay positive, but it's such a draining feeling.
I mean, unfortunately, I think that's life. I don't think some of us get to, not us, but some people get to be wealthy. Some people have to work every day. Some people don't get the opportunity to work at all. So yeah, but yeah, that's why I was very hesitant to say what I said at the beginning of the episode. Like, once you put it out in the universe, like now something terrible is going to happen, and it's okay. Like I knew that was a possibility by putting it out in the universe, but
Maybe we'll cut that.
nah, it's okay. Like I said, I knocked on wood, I rubbed a rabbit's foot, I did everything I possibly could when I was saying it to hopefully not, but it's okay. Yeah.
Well, that pressure, I want to say it right. It doesn't come from nowhere. There's always so many sources that pressure can come from, and I think it comes
I
from
think
things that we've all accepted as normal. And I want to say that we've seen this as a society where even if we see something and we know it's wrong, we still are like, it's okay. And I guess the best example is like athletes or actors, where they'll go out and they'll do something wrong. There'll be a domestic abuse case, there'll be a murder case, there'll be a rape case, and we're like, it's okay because they're athletes and I want my team to win, and they're entertaining, or they're movie stars and they make great movies.
Nah.
Who cares who they are as a person? And we've seen, like, ever since the Me Too movement and the Epstein files and now the Diddy thing, we've seen all of this. And you watch the documentary and you're like, 20 years ago this was not normal, but we see that and we're just like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And I think I want you to think about something that you deal with every day, or that we deal with as society every day, that would have felt weird 10 years ago. And I guess the question is when did that become normal? Why do we sit back as a society and we're like, oh yeah, that there's all those, instances of abuse and all those instances of sexual contact, but it's okay because they're a millionaire. Why? When did having money become the point of, oh, you have power?
I'm not on that boat. I'm on the other side where I think that if you've done atrocities, that you should pay for those atrocities, no matter who the hell you are, politicians, princes. I don't give a shit. If you've done anything that is not cool, you should pay the piper, so to speak. So yeah, I don't give a don't give a shit.
Have you
I
seen
don't care.
Have you seen this FedEx killer in the news?
Dude, I just started, honestly, the fact that you brought that up, I today, literally,
Yeah.
I saw a headline about what the judge said before they played certain footage, and it gave me chills. And then I just started looking for footage of it.
I think what bothers me the most, and again, this alludes to society, this alludes to our government system, or whatever system you want to call it, but you have a video of a man capturing this girl, murdering this girl, and that was 4 years ago. So now you've wasted 4 years of resources, 4 years of money, 4 years of people's time. You've kept this guy happy in his jail cell. He's being fed, he has a bed and all of this. And then now he's on trial, and you're making this family go through the worst part of their life again in great detail. And you're still deciding, does this guy need to die? Or do we need to pay for him to live in a prison for the rest of his life? And it just, like,
that was 4 years ago?
That was 2022. I did not know that. I thought this was new. No, I started researching it. Turns out it was in 2022.
Oh.
Yeah. Put the guy outside, have a firing squad.
I mean,
people like that shouldn't live. And not only are they living, we're paying for it, and all of our resources are going towards that.
Not in the good state of Florida. He's making being a pedo. He's trying to make being a pedo the death sentence.
I cannot ever. I will listen to somebody's opinion on that, but I can't ever agree to where they're like, give them life in prison. Why? Why are we going to bed and feed them?
Those are the same people that
40
are
years.
perfectly content with our money just going everywhere and everywhere, fucking willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that it just comes back, and it just, I hate it so much. I mean,
If you-
that's one of the biggest things I hate so much. Everybody talking politics and sex and religion. You never talked about that shit 10, 20 years ago before
Sure.
social media. No one, those subjects were taboo, and now that's all anybody wants to fucking talk about.
It's
all the
It's
time.
like the Euphoria, the Sydney Sweeney. When they
Uh-huh.
posted pictures of Sydney Sweeney as a preview to Euphoria when she was in her dog costume, everybody lost their mind. Oh my God, I can't wait to see that. Slay girl, she's so hot. And then the episode comes out and they're like, that's disgusting. How could anybody do that? One, she's an actress acting in a role that somebody else put together and paid her for. Two, that is all OnlyFans is. Everything that you're seeing on Euphoria, and that's the
Never
angle of it.
watched it.
It's only, I haven't watched it either, but it's been on social media. You know, that's, she's filming OnlyFans content in the show, and she's in a dog costume, and the guy has a thing around her neck, and then one of them she's in a baby costume, and it's like role play like that. And now people are starting to lose their minds. I'm like, OnlyFans is a multi-billion, trillion-dollar enterprise, and now you're complaining about it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's again, when did all this become mainstream? You know, when did all of the internet?
Yeah. It grinds my gears. It really grinds my gears. I think that pisses me off the most. But I think the jail stuff pisses me off the most. Like, if you're a murderer, you shouldn't be on this earth. If you get a DUI, right? And maybe you accidentally murder somebody, like, okay, go to jail, serve your sentence.
That's not murder. That's
right.
manslaughter.
You accidentally kill somebody, I should say.
That's not murder though. Murder is meditated. Like you thought it through. I mean, if you thought it through, decided to take someone else's life, what happened to eye for an eye?
Right.
Like what happened to that? The punishments need to be severe enough to where people don't want to do them. You know, like do those crimes. And that's not to get political. Problem with some of the states is we'll just let these guys keep gutting out over and over and over again. And it's like, no, these guys are violent criminals. Why are they out on the streets? And then they go and kill somebody they probably shouldn't have, or could have easily not killed if they were where they should have been. But because certain policies in place don't allow for that, and it just doesn't make sense.
No.
And a lot of this got away from logic a long time ago. I don't think a lot of the people that are in charge think logically. I think they're so far from their constituents that it's hard to grasp what it's like to be an everyday American these days when you haven't been an everyday American your entire life.
Right. Well, that subject kind of got went way out of left field into the
things that changed
stratosphere. So I want to bring us back down to more common things in our everyday life, and I think one of them, and I've noticed this more as we've started this podcast, right? Because when we're out on social media, everything's like, you have to comment ASAP. You have to be the first one to comment. If somebody comments, you have to reach out to them. When did being available all the time become expected? Do you think that was with the invention of the cell phone, or do you just think that was with social pressure of scaling and growing businesses?
I think it was no, because scaling and growing businesses has always been a thing. I mean, before cell phones, it wasn't the invention of cell phones. It was unlimited minutes and the internet on cell phones. I think that's when the the expectation to be available became a thing, because before you had a pager,
Right.
you had a phone, but most of the people weren't
Anybody
answering the
listening doesn't
phone.
know what a pager is. It's a little thing that goes beep beep when somebody messages you and tells you
Before that,
reaching
or
out to
during
you.
that time, there's also these things called pay phones that
Pay
you would
phones, yes.
you get your pager, it would give you a number to call back, and then you'd go and call that from a pay phone because that was the closest phone to you. Pay phones used landlines. They ran along the power lines. Power lines were those things that hang up in the No, but I couldn't keep going. That
Education.
was too much. But I think because even when the cell phone was invented, most people didn't have them. And then the people that did weren't answering them to the day because they cost an outrageous amount of money to operate during business hours. So it really became a thing when you could call someone whenever you wanted, and then people had them. Everyone, homeless people have cell phones.
Wild to me.
Like
You don't have a house, but you have a cell phone.
everyone has a cell phone. So that, yeah, no, the unlimited access is when everything changed.
Yeah.
Because before it was nights and weekends, and then most of the time were calling people's houses because they didn't have cell phones. So
Yep.
it
The good old
it
days of having to
was
go to somebody's house and knock on their door
yeah.
and talk to their parents to see if they were home.
Oh yeah, calling the houses was the worst, especially if, like, the girl you like, and then like her dad or someone would pick up. You're like,
Seven
oh,
other people will pick up
yeah,
before you get to her.
and then you gotta ask, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
drilled. Who are you? I'm so and so. What do you want? Oh, homework. It's a homework question. The
Yeah.
quickest way to get there. Any way I could get there.
But it taught us communication. We couldn't avoid that. We had to talk to the dad, talk to the mom, talk to the brothers and sisters, unless we were trying to sneak a phone call in at like 12:30 at night, but then that would be, tricky too.
How the hell are you gonna do that?
Yeah, you can't sneak it because it's ringing everywhere. And I think that communication, so we recently ran some clips on Monday. We're starting, oh my gosh, sorry, excuse me. We're starting Throwback Mondays with some of our older clips that did not make the air or that were recorded before we had social media accounts. One of those was from episode 11 or 12 with Chris Sarametta, where he was talking about communication relationships. Well, I think that convenience, right? We talk about the cell phones coming in place, internet, Facebook, all of that. It started hurting our communication and it started hurting our connection. How do you feel about that?
It would, yeah, the comprehension. I think what he said was comprehension was what was hurting the communication, and I think that has a lot to do with just people, just being dumb. I
Yeah.
think that has a lot to do with just people not being intelligent. But I also think that was on purpose because it's easy to control someone who needs you. So if I make everyone dumb to where they can't do things that are difficult or trades or go to college and they can't read, people that can't even read, then they'll do whatever I promise them, you know.
I mean, most of the world now, all they can do is play video games or dance in front of the camera.
Yeah, the fact that that's a profession now, is playing video games, is wild. That's something that's changed. I would never have pictured 20 years ago going to what was the there's that video game place over in Deltona, the Night something. Going there with a bunch of fucking nerds, that one of these people would be a professional gamer and making millions. Like, that is mind blowing. Like, that people also, why are people watching people do things? That blows my mind.
Always drove me crazy. I would always say that to my cousin, like, go play the game. Why are you watching? Oh, I'm not as good as them. Okay, does it matter?
That's how you get good.
Go
Like
play.
go play Fortnite. I had no interest in being good at Fortnite. Here we are. Like I don't have any interest in being good, but my dad is the only game he wants to play. So if I want to play video games with my dad, I'm playing Fortnite. So anytime I see his ass on, I'll hop on and play a few games with him, and then I'll just hop off when he's done. I have no interest in being good at that game, but it happens.
But
when
does
you
it affect
play.
your life in any way that you are
Hell
not
no.
good?
No, not
Because
before.
you still have other life skills that are not just video game playing.
Yeah, no. Again, I wouldn't watch someone playing a video game I wanted to play. Like that's annoying. I had brothers. I had to do that. Fuck that. We had one system. We had 3 people. We have to share. So somebody's odd man out with a Super Nintendo. So yeah, I've watched enough people play video games to where I'm good. Like I'm not doing that. But again, this is something 20 years ago. Never in my wildest dreams would I be like, oh yeah, you can be a professional gamer on a team, like
On a
playing
team, yeah.
basketball, a single position on a team. And I'm like, that is wild. Absolutely wild.
You're the Orlando Magic sender for WWE
Fuck. Dude, that
2K25 or whatever it is.
they have so many different leagues too. Like there's multiple Orlando Magic teams. It's not just one. Like there's multiple gaming leagues. So again, it's something that never would have thought that there would be no DH or no pitchers hitting in baseball. Never thought I'd see that day.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Nah, I hate it. I mean, I hated it.
I could hate it, but with everything trying to turn to more offensive, I mean that's something I could have seen coming from a mile.
Nah. Because it's not baseball no more.
At some point, they're going to move the 3-point line in.
They're not
Or
going to
create a 4-point line.
If anything, that's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah.
They're going to end up moving it back. If they're not going to put a 4-point line,
Yeah.
they're going to move it back. But I mean, I would be down for a 4-point line.
Well, once you kind of see these, I don't want to call them anomalies, but just changes in society, it kind of forces you to move differently. You know, you look at occupations differently, you look at social media differently, video games differently. What is something that you've changed about how you move, I guess, through the course of society? Thinking about, right, something that maybe you've changed without announcing, but it's just because that's the social norm now.
I guess I'm not necessarily understanding the question.
So life changes, society changes, and maybe there's something that you accepted, maybe you didn't agree with it, and you're just like, well, that's how it is now, and you started
Like the universal
conforming to it.
DH. Just I accepted this. This is how it's gonna be.
Yes, but more so in life. And I apologize for my hiccuping.
Yeah, this is driving me nuts, dude. I can't deal with people chewing and stuff, so I'm like
I can't help it, but I'm
You
trying
can't see my hands, but I've been like this since it started, just going like in between my legs, just like I am uncomfortable. Sorry. I guess needing to use social media on a daily basis is something that I've definitely conformed and accepted that this is a norm now. This is something that I have to do if I want to be involved.
It's facts. It's facts. On the other side of the coin, is there anything that you won't entertain anymore? Like you've seen it change, you're like, absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, I won't accept people minor attractive persons. Yeah, fuck you. No. Like no. I will never accept that at all. I can accept a lot
pedophilia?
of yeah, that's the newest bullshit is
how they identify?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's like I said, I have a lot of tolerance for a lot of things. That ain't one of them. Will never be one of them. I don't care. But what I'm trying to think, it's like something else that I won't do that people are moving towards. Nah, I mean I'm okay with like the shorter shorts, rompers, and we're gonna be doing romper daddy
So
soon. So
Preston called me because he was listening to the last episode, and he goes, "Oh, you guys are talking about what was it? Going to the next WrestleMania?" No, I'm sorry. Going to Coachella. Going to
it was
Coachella. He's like, "Oh, you guys are
Coachella.
talking about going to Coachella?" He's like, "I'd be down to go, but then I heard you talk about wearing romper," and he's like, I'm not gonna wear a romper. I'm not gonna do that." And I'm like, "Hey, if the pod goes to Coachella, we all gotta wear rompers."
Yeah, they're gonna have our faces on them, or like the "you good, bro." I like see like that to me is. I mean, everyone each their own, right? But I don't know. I don't getting embarrassed doesn't bother me. Like it just people are gonna like say something, say something. I don't care. Like I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this so I'm having fun or I'm putting a smile on people's faces or whatever. Like I don't really
And
care.
what's the saying that like even if you do something embarrassing, there's just gonna be another moment that passes it by in what,
Yeah, I mean, who
a few
cares?
days, 48 hours?
You're on this giant rock for such a small amount of time. Who cares? Do the see goes back to inherently selfish. Do what you want when you want it. No, within reason, because you're allowed to do whatever you want, but you're not free of the consequences that happens from doing whatever
That's it.
you want.
That's it. And I think that you don't need to explain every boundary that you set, but at what point do you stop adapting to the world and start deciding like how you want to live in it? Is that just something that comes with maturity, with age? What does that
I
look like for you?
think it came with age. Like I think that's part of maturity, but like when you're younger, you're like very naive to how the world actually operates and works. But I think there is something to be the change you want to see, or like be true to what you want. And if you know if yeah, I'm big on just saying hi to everyone you pass or waving, and sometimes I get crap for it, like talking to everyone, but it's one of those things. It's just like that one interaction might be the only interaction that person had that day, and they could be going through a lot of stuff, so why not just be kind? So
Yeah.
I don't know, be the change you want to be, or be the change you want to see, right? But I didn't actually believe that, when I was younger. Uh,
It's
we
it's
can't
like the
change the
idiom
world like
of our
that.
parents always taught us that and told us that, but we never listened.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, I think like you, you can't change things with more hate, and I think that hate's just too easy, and it's harder to love everyone or be kind to everyone. I think because especially when people do bad things to you, it's real easy to be like "fuck you" or "I hate you" or and things like that when maybe they needed grace. They stole money from you, but you don't. Why? Not everybody deserves passes either.
Yeah.
Boundaries, but uh,
But also, it's hard to be vulnerable. I don't think
yeah.
that it's just hard to be nice. I think it's hard to be vulnerable.
Well, people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
People see that coming from a mile away, so they will abuse and take advantage of that. So that's
Prey
why
on it.
you have to set boundaries. You have to pick and choose when you do those things, because not everybody deserves that. Not everybody deserves that side of you. Uh, that's a lesson you learn the hard way. So I don't know. I think again, to answer your question, I think age,
Yeah.
and definitely maturity, for sure.
I think that's the only way you get there. It's really rare that people learn these traits in their teens and their 20s, and it's not until you go through life
Probably not.
experiences
Yeah.
that you start to understand. And unfortunately, people go through those experiences when they're younger, and maybe that's
Mm.
life changing in its own.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through those life-changing events younger and still wasn't in the mindset I am pushing 40, where it's we don't have a lot of time. Like
Yep.
when you actually think about it, just us as a species has only been here for such a small amount of time, and as far as the planet's been alive, so we need to be thankful for every day that we get and just live it to the fullest, and whatever the fullest is for you. It doesn't matter what anyone else or what anyone else has to say about it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's your life. You're the one that's going to have to live with it. You're the one that's going to have to live with the choices at the end of the day. You know, on your deathbed, did you live the life you want? And if not, why? You know, so and then are you going to blame everyone else? You're going to blame Tom, Dick, and Harry for why you didn't live your life the way you wanted to? No, like,
Yeah.
live your life the way you want to live it, and hopefully the rest will fall into place.
And I think that, to go off of the theme, not everything normal is good. And we talked about this last episode with Michelle, where sometimes you don't realize what's affecting you until you take that step back, right? We talked about COVID and how she had to take a step back to understand herself. But once you notice it, you decide what stays in your life, you decide which way your life goes. And I think that's the most important part about maturing.
Yeah, realizing that when you realize everything that's ever happened has been because of your choices, you start to tend to make better ones.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring this in. Let's bring this in so people don't have to listen to me hiccup
Yeah, I'm
anymore.
gonna fucking blast my eardrums out. I wish I could cut my ears right now. Just
Cut that. Give me one thing to leave the people about, just about what's become normal and being vulnerable and society and kind of everything we just talked about today.
yeah, I think as hard as it is, fuck what everyone says. Do what you want, live how you want to live within reason, hopefully within the laws, within the boundaries of the law. But be happy because you don't have a lot of time. And whatever that looks like, have at it. Don't yuck anyone's yum.
I love it. Be a good person. Don't rape, don't diddle, don't murder.
Fuck yeah, no rape, no diddle, no. I mean, again, murder in some circumstances is valid. In my mind, if someone rapes Sam, I'm killing that motherfucker. No questions asked.
That's a whole can of worms to go down.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like murder. I'm like, dude, unfortunately, sometimes murder makes sense.
That's fair.
So, not all the time. Most of the time it doesn't. But
that's how we leave you with this end of the episode.
Yeah.
Murder is
don't do
good
that.
Well, this was good. It's always good to come back without a guest, reconnect, just talk a little bit, be vulnerable.
Wish a guest was here so we wouldn't be having to hear this fucking hiccups.
Hey, I did good. Okay, for how sick I am, the hiccups.
I wish I could scare you right now to scare him out of you.
I've been hiccuping literally all day since I woke up. I don't know what it is.
Wish we postponed.
I'll go back and I'll edit out every hiccup just for you.
No, you won't. I know better.
Watch me. If any part of today's episode hit home, please share it with a friend. Tag us at CrodsPod on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok at CrodsPod and help us keep this conversation going. We drop new episodes every Thursday. If you have a topic, a story, or you just need to vent, email us at crodspod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Our safe space is your outlet. And to get rid of the hiccups, until next time, live fast, eat ass, or move how you actually want to move.